45 Strategies for Finding Your Ancestors Online, Part 1. This is the first part of a two-part series. Oftentimes when a patron comes in, they will say to me, I just don't know where to look for my ancestors. Or, I have been on Family Search and the 3 partner sites and I can't find anything. Now what do I do? Aside from the books and films, there are some strategies we can do to find our ancestors online. I might remember a few ideas, but I can't remember all of them on the spur of the moment. The purpose of these 2 presentations is to pool most of these into one place and provide a handout that a patron can take home and use when he or she needs a little extra help. The first starting point should be the Family Search Wiki. You can see tons of records that are online for this particular place. You can join a Facebook page. Anything in blue is a direct link to more records. Going down the page, more direct links broken up into counties, which tell specifics about a county, including boundary changes, cemetery census, histories, maps, and military resources, and so much more. The Family History Guide is another place to check. They have tons of training articles and videos, but I like it if I'm doing a foreign country. Anything in blue is a direct link, and these are some suggestions on Lithuanian genealogy. If you can't find your ancestor in the indexed records, which are typed and organized and searchable, try going to the unindexed records, which are not organized or indexed yet and will not come up in your search results. You can see there are millions of records here that will not show up in your search results. These haven't been typed out and put in a searchable form yet. They're usually organized by location or dates. Choose a place and then you can filter down by name. There's an excellent video made by Family Search that explains how to browse these images entitled Finding Elusive Records on Family Search by Robert Kerr. All in title or all in text can find your surname in a title or text, respectively. When using all in a text or all in a title, remember that symbols such as colons, quotation marks, or asterisks don't like to touch each other. So do put a space after a colon if putting a name in quotation marks right beside it. Put quotation marks around first and middle name if you want to find just those names together. All these words can be synonyms for genealogy. Try different ones to catch the different databases. Google prioritizes pages that contain your search terms in the order you have typed them in. For instance, you will find your ancestor's name faster if you list the name first and then the state for general database searches. If you have a pioneer listed first, for example, the search engine will lead out with pioneer and you won't get the results you're looking for. Ohio genealogy pioneers will most likely get you faster and better results. Search a numeric range such as dates using 2 periods with no spaces between, such as Mary Elliott 1745 period 1750. Google will search for all the years in between those years. Every country has their own Google search engine, and that is where you should go if you're searching outside the United States. There are 2-letter codes for each country. If you have an ancestor in Germany, for instance, it is better to go to that country to search for them. You don't have to memorize the codes. Enter google.germany, the code comes up, and then you open up another tab, copy and paste the address in, and you will be in Germany using Germany's Google search engines. If you have exhausted your favorite genealogy websites, find similar sites to search by putting the word related followed by a colon in front of the URL. No spaces after the colon. These are the results I got when I put a query for websites related to usgenweb.org. Family names from certain places were often grouped together, so when looking for sources for ancestors in Family Search and you're having trouble finding the rest of the family, try copying down the batch number. Insert the last name and copy the batch number. Here you can see I got a lot of family members quickly, all living in the same county. Change the M, meaning marriage, to a P for birth records, and I may see births of my family in this same county. Google this address and you can learn more about filters like the M and the P. You would do the same thing with films. Copy the film number and go into Records in Family Search, enter the last name and paste in the film number. Here I just found 114 records with the same McNeil in that same county. Even though there are some various spellings, I recognize that most of these names as belonging to my family lines. Try all name variants. For instance, the name Smith could have all these various spellings. This goes for all parts of a name. Try searching the name in a different order, or by initials or abbreviations or nicknames. Next, look for the name spelled with different vowels. Search the name with a double letter added or deleted. Look for phonetic substitutes or misread letters. Some immigrants translated their surname into English, like Snyder means Taylor, as well as the given name Andrew to Andrews. Secure a dictionary such as German to English to find possible translations. Go to this website to learn more about Soundex system and how it works. Be aware that Soundex can miss some spelling variations. Be cautious about checking those exact searches, even if you're sure you have the information right. You might be missing whole categories from your results. Collections lacking first names or only initials, for instance, will be skipped if you search for an exact first name. Be aware exact searches ignore spaces, capitalization, diacritics, and punctuation. Leaving out a surname can help find ancestors despite transcription errors or spelling quirks. Fill out key dates and places. This works well when you can put the parents in. Again, stick to one database so you don't get so many hints. Also, try a search omitting the parents' last names. Try looking for a state census in your area of interest. Not all states had them, and some did not survive. They were often a substitute for some of the missing federal records, like the federal 1890 census, and were taken in between the federal census. So you would have 1905 or 1915 state census, for example. But you can Google, for instance, Iowa state census and see what years were available to catch a family that moved often, or maybe had a child that was born and died within a 5-year period. By putting a keyword, the search engines will lead out with that particular word. For example, you can put in a church denomination, an occupation, a ship name, street address, or titles such as Reverend or Doctor, or anything you know about them. Do not click exact for keywords if that is an option, so you don't miss out on collections without keyword capabilities. Leave out a name in the name field and put the name in a keyword box. This may find documents that lack neat fields for names and other data, such as Fold 3. Research the women with both married and maiden names. A woman lived most of her life under her married name. Each record type may provide clues to her life, and many had second and third marriages. Some record collections index junior and senior as though they were part of the last name. So if you find George White Jr., it's worth trying George White Jr. with no space between the White and the Junior. In Find My Past, where this can be a problem, try checking name variants. If you are getting too many results and the list includes hits wildly wrong for the period in which your target ancestor lived, try filling in a residence or any location. Type a date and a location for residence, or click on any and fill in another year and place that is significant in your ancestor's life. You might be certain that your ancestor was born in 1859 and that she immigrated in 1889 and that her married name was Thomas, but if searches on this data keep leading to dead ends, you might want to consider that your ancestor fibbed, forgot, embellished the truth, or made a change. Maybe she shaved a few years off her age when she remarried that husband you didn't know about. Try searching without a key fact in turn to see if the omission might produce more fruitful discoveries. Here is Ancestry.com. Once I find an ancestor in a database or any program, I can go to that database and research for more information on them and their family. In this case, the Norfolk, England Church of England births and baptisms. Use this database name to search on Google. All the resources on the right hold possibilities also. Any term used in their record can be included in a search or as a keyword, such as parents' names and address and so forth. Look at the original to catch any terms that weren't indexed, and be sure to save these databases by putting them in your sources on Family Tree. Hundreds of ebooks are being put online every day. In your search bar, put in books.google.com, then your surname. Under Tools, you can sort by the type of book you want, or you can sort by the time, or if you prefer a document. I am choosing free Google eBooks. The first one that comes up are my ancestors. Another place to look for books is under Books on Family Search. You can choose a specific library in Blueprint if you desire just by clicking on it. I'm going to let the program search all of them. Put in a surname. Here are the results for Oberholzer. I can click here to sort by date, popularity, author, or title. Details will show me if it is online or where I can find the book. Pay attention to suggested new searches. I have found not a book, but manuscripts on several of my family lines that someone has just put out there online with lots of great information. Also, there is a free WorldCat found in Family Search Catalog, which gives you access to the world's largest network of library content and services on the web. Clicking here will take you into the home page, and you can learn more about WorldCat and how to order ebooks, hardbooks, CDs, DVDs. Just a side note, if you know the name of a library close to where your ancestors lived, you may have better luck finding more pertinent information faster by going directly into their website rather than doing a large general search on Google or WorldCat. This concludes part 1 of 45 strategies for finding your ancestors online. Stay tuned for the second edition of this thrilling, action-packed adventure next week. There will be a handout that covers both of these presentations next week as well. Thanks for watching and have a great day.